Welcome to CBSE English Tutorial, a visual guide.
Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you're a Class 12 student and you're trying to absolutely crush your English exam, you have come to the perfect place. Today, we're going to break down one of the most important questions you'll face in the creative writing section so you can walk away with full marks. You know exactly the one I'm talking about, right? It's just sitting there in Section B, worth 5 super crucial marks. And honestly, the difference between a pretty good score and an amazing score can really come down to how you handle this one question. So the big question is, how do you make sure those 5 marks are yours? Like, guaranteed? Okay, first things first. Let's pull back the curtain on what an article even is. I think a lot of students get kind of intimidated by it, you know? They picture some complex journalistic masterpiece. But for your exam, trust me, the idea is way, way simpler than that.
And that's really the core of it. Just think about something you'd read in a newspaper, a magazine, or even on a blog. Its whole job is to get an idea across, whether that's sharing some information, arguing a point, or just, getting people to think. Your goal in the exam is just to write one of these clear, purposeful pieces. That's it. Now, let's get to the most important part. The structure. For the CBSE exam, there is an official blueprint you have to follow. Seriously, think of it as your map to getting full marks. If you stick to the map, you literally can't get lost. Every single article that's going to get you marks is built on these 3, let's call them non-negotiable pillars. You need a title, a byline, and the body. Get these right, and you've already built the super strong foundation. Miss even one, and you're losing marks before the examiner has even read your first sentence.
And check this out. This is the official blueprint right here. Look closely at how each part is laid out. The title? It's gotta be eye-catching. The byline? That gives credit where it's due. The intro paragraph is all about hooking the reader. And then the next paragraphs build up your argument with facts and examples. And then finally, the conclusion just ties it all together beautifully. This isn't just some random format. It's a proven formula for clear communication.
So the most crucial part is how you structure that main body. And you should always think in 3 parts. It's simple. First, you introduce the topic. Maybe kick it off with a surprising fact or a question. Second, you develop your ideas. This is where you bring in all the good stuff, the facts, the reasons, the effects. And third, you conclude. Just summarize your main points and leave the reader with a powerful closing thought. That's it. Intro, development, conclusion. Easy.
Okay. Let's do something fun. Let's get inside the mind of the examiner. Because if you know exactly how they score your paper, you can give them exactly what they're looking for. This is the official marking scheme. Think of it as your secret weapon. Right, so those 5 marks we're fighting for, they aren't some big mystery. They are actually broken down into very specific categories. Let's see exactly where each and every point comes from. Okay, look at this breakdown. It's so important. 1 full mark just for the format. That's your title and your byline. That's literally the easiest mark you can get. Then, 1 mark for organization. Are your paragraphs clear? Does it flow logically? 2 whole marks. The biggest piece of the pie goes to content. Are your ideas good? And finally, 1 mark for accuracy. That's your spelling and grammar. See? Each part has a specific, predictable value.
Knowing the rules is only half the battle. The other half is knowing the traps. And believe me, board examiners see the exact same mistakes year after year. Let's make sure you don't fall into any of them.
This is without a doubt the #1 unforced error. So many students just dive straight into writing the body and completely forget the heading. And what did we just see on the scorecard? Boom! That's your format mark gone just like that. Always, always start with your heading.
Here's another classic mistake. The instructions are crystal clear on this. Unless the question specifically gives you a name to use, do not use your own. You can use something like ABC or whatever they give you in the prompt, but never your personal details. It's a really strict rule.
Hey, remember that organization of ideas mark we talked about? Well, this is where you earn it. An article that's just one giant wall of text is basically impossible to read, and it just screams lack of structure. Use that simple intro, development, conclusion paragraph model we talked about.
It makes your article so much clearer and easier for the examiner to follow and, to give you marks for.
All right, so you know the format, you know how you're being marked, and you know what not to do. Let's move to the final stage, how to take your article from just being good to being absolutely perfect. These are the pro tips that are going to push you towards that 5 out of 5.
Okay, this is your final checklist. Before you even start writing, take 30 seconds to plan. Jot down your points, try arranging them using the strong, weak, strong method. Start with your best point, hide weaker ones in the middle, and then end with another really powerful one. Watch that word limit seriously. Keeping sentences short and clear helps avoid grammar mistakes. And hey, if you have a relevant quote memorized, throwing that in can make a huge impact. And finally, always leave yourself a minute to proofread. That 1 minute can literally save you that accuracy mark.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. This isn't just about passing some exam. Learning how to write a clear, well-structured article is a huge life skill. It's fundamental for communicating effectively, whether you're in college or in your future career.
So there you have it. The blueprint, the scorecard, the common mistakes to avoid, and the pro tips. This question isn't some big challenge to be afraid of, it's a clear opportunity. You now have the complete game plan. Go claim those 5 marks. You've got this.
Welcome to this presentation titled Mastering the Class 12 English Article. In this guide, we will explore the structure of an article, the marking scheme, and what examiners expect from you. By the end of this presentation, you will clearly understand how to write an effective article and score maximum marks in the Advanced Writing Skills section. Importance of the English Core Paper. The English Core Paper plays an important role in your final results. Low marks in this paper can reduce your overall percentage and even affect admission to top colleges. Many students lose easy marks in the writing section because of simple structural mistakes. Remember, an article is usually written in 150 to 200 words, and its purpose is to inform, convince, or describe a topic clearly. Your article is evaluated on 4 important criteria. First is format, which carries 1 mark and includes the title and byline. Second is organization, where your ideas must be arranged logically. Third is content, which carries 2 marks and requires clear development of ideas based on the given cues. And finally, accuracy, which includes correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Structure of an article. A good article always follows a clear and organized structure. It begins with an interesting title, followed by the byline. The first paragraph introduces the topic. The middle paragraphs form the main body, where you discuss facts, reasons, and explanations. Finally, the last paragraph concludes the article, often with a suggestion, opinion, or call to action. Maintaining a formal register. Articles must be written in a formal style. Use complete sentences and appropriate vocabulary. Avoid slang, which are very informal words used in casual conversation. Also, avoid colloquial expressions, which are not suitable for academic writing. Slide 6. The 7 C's of writing. Effective writing often follows the 7 C's of communication. These principles help writers express their ideas clearly and effectively. A strong article is not just grammatically correct, but also well-organized, meaningful, and easy to understand. Clear, concise, and correct. First, writing must be clear. Your ideas should be easy to understand and logically presented. Second, it should be concise, meaning you express your ideas briefly and directly. And finally, it must be correct, with accurate information and proper grammar. Considerate and concrete. Your writing should also be considerate, which means the tone should remain polite and respectful. Harsh or aggressive language can reduce the impact of your argument. At the same time, your ideas should be concrete, supported with clear explanations and relevant details. Coherence and completeness. Another important quality of good writing is coherence. Each sentence should connect smoothly with the next so that the article flows naturally. Your article should also be complete, with a proper beginning, middle, and conclusion. Layout mistakes. Examiners often notice layout mistakes in student answers. For example, some students forget to include the title or byline. Others write the entire article as one long paragraph. Remember, a good article should always be divided into clear paragraphs. The input trap. Another common mistake is ignoring the cues given in the question. These cues are provided to guide your ideas. A good article always uses these points to develop its arguments. Word limit. Students must also follow the word limit of 150 to 200 words. Writing too much can waste time and lead to unnecessary mistakes. A strong article is clear, focused, and within the word limit. Learning from examples. Understanding theory is important, but learning from examples is even more useful. By studying high-scoring answers from previous board exams, students can see how good articles are structured. Case study, introduction. In the example on honor killing, the article begins with a clear title and byline. The opening sentence immediately introduces the topic without unnecessary details. This is a good example of a strong introduction. Case study, developing arguments. In the article discussing the negative impact of reality shows on children, the arguments are presented step by step. Each idea connects logically with the next, and the vocabulary remains formal and appropriate. Case study, descriptive setup. In another example discussing modernity in rural India, the article begins with a simple but powerful fact that India is largely an agriculture-based economy. This fact is then contrasted with the lack of development in rural areas, creating a strong argument. Case study, conclusion. In the example about environmental awareness, the article ends with a clear and meaningful conclusion. It summarizes the main ideas and encourages readers to take action. Pre-writing strategy. Before you start writing, it is important to analyze the prompt carefully. Then brainstorm your ideas and organize them logically. Finally, think of a strong opening line that introduces your topic effectively. Editing checklist. Before submitting your answer, quickly check a few things. Make sure the title and byline are present. Ensure your article has 3 to 5 paragraphs. Also check that your tone is formal and the word limit is maintained. Final message. By following this simple blueprint, you can write effective and well-structured articles in your board examination. Understanding the structure, meeting the examiner's expectations, and carefully editing your answer can help you score maximum marks.
Thank you for watching. See you again in a bit.